up, everybody? We finally arrived to the conclusion of the show. One last best of 3 to get us where we need to go, and that being Chicago, because that's what's on the card. I got Mr. Dinko here. My name is Trace, and we're about to be walking right into Heroic versus forZe. Just witnessed forZe take down Optic in a series that, well, in the first map was relatively close. In the second, kind of got close, but also Optic, I don't even know what to say. Doesn't matter. We are at the station, and we are ready to get on the train.
I don't.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
yeah, forZe certainly are a team that's impressed a hell of a lot of people, including me. I think in both Invitationals, obviously in the last Cologne Invitational, they came in as a replacement team for Wendigo, and obviously, well, they've impressed Turnheads, and they're back here for Chicago's Invitational.
Chicago, that's right. That's where the ultimate prize is, and it's going to be between Heroic and forZe. They battled their way all the way through here. Now, the second place team here, which, you know, the team that doesn't win this best of 3, doesn't just go home. They do get to grab themselves, I think it's like $5,000. I think they do get some sort of consolation for having done this much. So not all is lost, but I do think an Intel Extreme Masters berth is much, much sweeter. Speaking of sweet spots, let's talk about the maps we're going to play. If I had to guess, I would put this series at like an Inferno overpass nuke.
Yeah, I think that would.
It makes the most sense,
It makes sense, right? And forZe, you know, generally Inferno is a good map for them, and they went for an Inferno pick. So
yeah, so Heroic probably going to pick overpass.
There we go. We've seen that in the tournament already.
Now, if Heroic is left between Mirage and Nuke, which is on the card, it's got to be Nuke, right?
Surely it has to be Nuke. This is the map they went with earlier, although Mirage is also a pretty decent map for them. They've looked strong on it. And this is pretty much the same video we've seen from Heroic, apart from Inferno switched out instead of Mirage. So honestly, this could probably be a 3-mapper. Looking at forZe, they're a pretty good Inferno team. I think that's the map they'd probably be able to take off Heroic. Although we have seen forZe have a good result on Overpass as well, absolutely blowing Hellraisers out of the water. But you know, there's not really too much to read into that after seeing how terribly Hellraisers played yesterday.
Well, you said it, not me. That would be Dinko who has that opinion, and I have absolutely nothing against the Hellraisers nor the. You know, the organization, the players personally, that would be Dinko again.
No. just how they played in 2 maps.
Yeah, I'm joking with you. Look, we do have a first map. It's going to be Inferno. forZe's pick. Now, we know forZe just coming off a win, probably can feed into this one. They maybe have a little bit of momentum. I don't think that it would be a test of adrenaline of what we just saw or anything like that. However, Heroic do have in their pocket that they just got to witness this entire best of 3 prior. So either way you look at it, there's a positive, I think, to be taken on either side that you're going to be rooting for.
Yeah, I think Heroic obviously having a little bit of a break. They can start to fix a couple of mistakes they maybe had earlier as well. So that's something they can go for them. And also something that's going for Heroic is the performance of BlameF throughout this tournament. He's absolutely been a beast. Top rated in the tournament by quite some margin and across quite a few maps as well. So certainly a player to look out for, and certainly a win condition for Heroic. He has to show up again.
Let's talk about win conditions for you at home. This is what I need you to do. I need you to load up on your little cellular device here. I need you to grab this or press Control-T. I want you to go over to twitter.com. I want you to log in. First of all, if you don't have 2-step verification, unacceptable. Make sure you do that in the meantime. But I need you to grab the hashtag maincast, and I need you to tweet at us your best memes because I need to update my database. Dinko, I don't know if you have your own personal database, but I have quite the file system and folders, and everything is sort of put into spreadsheets and really calculated as to, you know, what's successful, what's not successful, and that's what we have right now. So make sure you get over there and get activated on social media. That is, bar none, something that is very important.
Yeah, we haven't really had too many good memes recently, right?
It's been a while.
Yeah, we've had like a couple of months ago, I think it was the last good meme, and now we just haven't had any good ones.
It's been months of bad memes.
It's a week.
That one is hurtful, I'll tell you that. So, yeah, make sure you get activated on social media. Doesn't even matter which one. Just have that hashtag maincast. That's the only way we're going to be able to grab it and potentially show it on the bottom of the screen down here. If I could just maybe, like, way down there. There we go. Yeah,
there we go.
That's what we want. We want you to be able to show some of the memes that you've got. Otherwise, they just go to waste. No one ever notices them, and unfortunately, that's how it all works. It was really hot here in Kiev, man. What happened? It got really cold.
Yeah, we've had like 10 different seasons in the past 4 days. We've had monsoon season. We had just a lake. the road turned into a river, and Vegeta and I were trying to get here, and we're going through a flood. The next day, it was sunny again. And the first day, I was way too warm. Like, my body, I'm just not used to it.
Well, you said that Vendetta guy, and it's interesting because he's left. He's done for the day.
Gone.
So I think that this is our chance to kind of really talk about him as not only a person, but perhaps, you know, he was beating himself up pretty bad over the Norwegians losing their berth and their chance to get into Chicago.
Exactly.
I don't want him to take it too hard, but it's really weighing on the guy.
I mean, we slightly said he might be to blame for the failure of Norwegian Counter-Strike. Just
like
slightly.
as a whole, like the big thing over years of it.
Yeah.
One fun little factoid. Now, this was, no offense, certainly before your time. There was this guy, and this guy's name was Ola Element Moem. Now, this guy was a legend within the scene. Back at 1.6, he was the go-to ringer for a lot of teams in a lot of ways, but certainly someone that had left his mark on the game in a big way. I think he was actually recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. And if I didn't know any better, I'm pretty sure he is related to that of Halvor. Now, I know that Norway is got to be a much bigger country than that, but it's just true.
Well, I mean, they all know each other, right?
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, basically that's.
Well, Halvor was actually saying that Element was the one that got him into Counter-Strike.
Oh, well, that kind of makes sense. Well, perhaps they'll figure out the entire Norwegian scene on their hands. What we're figuring out right now is the knife round and who's going to be starting on what side. And in terms of this one, it's going to be Stavin. He's just backing off. Tactic known for teams to use just to debate and think about what they want to do, knowing that they've already lost the knife round.
Basically, waste time.
Yeah, basically. We got a whole minute, and I guess these guys are just going to run around and talk about what they want to do until then. So there you have it.
Well, on Inferno, obviously the knife round, it matters slightly. I think both teams will probably want to get a start on the CT side, but we've seen both teams actually have really strong T sides. And in particular forwards, that's when they seem to perform their best, is on the T side. So perhaps they want to get a T side start. We never know.
Yeah, some teams thrive a little bit under those conditions. They say, okay, first game of the day, even though for both of these teams it's not, first map of the series perhaps, is best for them to start on the T side. That way they can kind of get the gears running, they can get the fluids going, and that sometimes helps a team to get a good start rather than just blowing it out right in the beginning. Can't hold an angle if you're not warmed up.
Exactly, and I think it all comes down to this one game, right? You might have played all these other games in the tournament, but this is the one that matters. This is one that gets you to Chicago, and you have that chance to go to the Intel Extreme Masters. The other, it sounds amazing, $5,000 from playing Counter-Strike, but it's still not what people want here.
Yeah, still not the Intel Extreme Masters Chicago, which is why we are all here at the GG Bet Invitational. So, if you're just joining us, you've picked the absolute best time to do so. We are just about ready to get into that first map, Inferno. The knife round is over. We just got the Witness 4s earn their berth, and then we've got would have been Heroic earlier today. So, all things considered, this is how this qualifier has shaped up to be.
Yeah, I think obviously coming into Heroic probably would have been one of the favorites, and I think forZe as well. I think the only teams that really could have taken that spot were perhaps Hellraisers and Wendigo on paper, but obviously not getting there well enough. And obviously Optic are a team that are a little bit more questionable as well. They've had recent success at DreamHack Summer and definitely fell a little bit flat today.
Yeah, and the falling flat thing is it's unfortunate, it really is. We got to see some good looks from Optic, but overall it wasn't good enough. We got to see a player like MSL who, like I'd said earlier, is not touted to have the best AWP in the world, but him finding that sort of groove within that lineup I think is very, very crucial. Also a good look from Refresh in a lot of different ways, at least positioning-wise. He was always putting himself in good fights, but it just, sometimes it's the short end of the stick that you choose.
Well, MSL was actually a player that was playing pretty well on the opening kills. He would miss quite a few of the sort of easier sitter shots, so it's quite telling that he's not traditionally been a main AWPer of a team. But something that's been a big factor of MSL's teams is sometimes he doesn't really work too well with AWPers, and so maybe making himself the AWPer, we kind of talked about perhaps that's a way to be a bit more successful.
That is one way to do it. Is make yourself the AWPer of your own team.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be doing that here in this matchup. They didn't qualify for this one. Instead, it's going to be Heroic and forZe for a spot in the Intel Extreme Masters Chicago 2019. The United Center is about to be rocking, but with which of these teams will it be? Will it be Heroic? Will it be forZe? Let us know on social media. Let us know via Twitch chat. Let's do it like this. Let's get a 1 in chat for Heroic and a 2 in chat for forZe. Who do you think is going to win? I've given the all-access pass to go ahead and spam that. Now, if you get banned, I also have a disclaimer there on that all-access pass that says I'm not liable. So, best of luck to you in your endeavor.
Well, what do you think we'll be seeing? A lot of 2s, a lot of 1s?
Personally, I think the Twitch chat is confused. I think we'll see everything but those 2 numbers just because that is how they operate.
We'll see like 3 4s and things like that.
They're a wild group. They kind of do what they have to do, and they survive, and they're going to be around forever. So there's that. Freeze time coming to an end, and the lovely spawn, I believe it would be T-spawn.
Yeah, it looks like T-spawn. Could be that or banana, one of the 2. But we're all ready to get going. It's going to be the pistol CT side here for forZe. They get the start there. Heroic on the T side. Plenty of utility on the T side as well. So Heroic have lots of options as they start to take banana control early. Jerry. Goes for the peek. Doesn't get a whole lot of info, so he falls away.
That he does. And what was a 3 call over there towards forZe right in the beginning of the round. They're now going to transition that player and flit all the way back. And rightfully so, because that's where it's looking like the hit's going to be here for Heroic. They've already got what will be port control sooner rather than later, unless forZe has something to say about that, and it looks like they will. X-Power really getting it on, really getting it in on him. Eventually he does fall, and I guess in terms of falling, that would be everything around us as well. See a bomb plant most likely. Stavin playing from the pit, finds himself a frag. 2 versus 2. Still plenty of time to plant the bomb, and they're going to get that down. Beautiful tap from Flit. Not beautiful enough. Stavin closing the round out in the first round, going to Heroic.
Yeah, they pick up the pistol here, first round of the grand final, going in favor of the Danes. And forZe, this was the map that we talked about, where they played against Liquid, and Almaz was timed out. So hopefully they don't get the same fate here. And we are ready to get into things. Again, Stavin was one of the players on Heroic that actually wasn't at that level earlier today, or it felt like we weren't saying his name a lot more. The whole team had a big step up in performance. We've seen Freiburg at the top as well, which is a little bit strange nowadays. We don't really see him be the star of the team. He's more of a supportive element, gives the experience to the roster, but certainly playing well today. And it's going to be a force buy for forZe, upgrading the pistols alongside some Kevlar.
Looks like a lot of ones in chat, so good on all of you to have caught up with us. And good on all of you to have typed the appropriate numbers via the voting system polling. Now, all that being said, it will be Heroic to pick up that first round. I can't believe you'd say that about Freiburg, man. Shame on you, Dinko.
Yeah.
Freiburg is a living legend.
He is.
Of the banana himself.
He also has a banana on his gun, which is cool to see.
Also, might have a banana in his kitchen, might have a banana in his pocket. Who really knows?
It's
Nonetheless, he is known for the banana holds here over the years. So we'll see what he can conjure up, but it's not going to be there yet. It's going to be forZe on the CT side. And as it stands, looks like Heroic want to pop up middle. And forZe having played 3 players towards B, another sort of gamble in their own right. That will probably not be fruitful. Let's see what these pistols can do, though, for forZe.
Well, utility coming in, making sure they just cover off the positions, sever the information flow of the CT side, as Zetsatark will be the man to pick up the kill onto FaceCrack. Z-Car stepping up with 1, but it's not enough. And the bomb site has fallen already, so forZe might as well just hang on to the Kevlar, the pistols, and carry those into the next one, as Heroic will go 2-0. Good start coming in from Heroic, and it's important that they get that good start. Start to feel comfortable. If there's any sort of nerves, most likely not, but if there are, they're currently settled. And it's been a very solid start from them. And the big problem for a lot of these teams is they win the pistol, but they can't win the follow-up. And so they've converted the pistol win. That's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and that conversion round is just a bane of some team's existence. In this case, though, that will not be the story that is told on Inferno. Shame on you, Blame F, for killing those chickens. But honestly, the only person that's going to be really troublesome about that will be Vendetta, as he will have something to say about it to your face on land the next time he sees you. So, blame F. Don't blame us. Blame Vendetta.
That wouldn't end too well for Vendetta.
Maybe. I won't know the odds between that fight, but what I can tell you is the odds from GG.bet. And what are they?
Well, they are 2.5 for forZe and 1.49 for Heroic. So the Danes are currently favored to win this and currently favored to go to IM Chicago. So things are looking good for the Danes, but forZe have already shown they can beat down some Danish teams already today.
Yes, indeed. Maybe not in this round. Still looking at pistols. 3 sets of Kevlar. Ooh. Freiburg catching a few grenades of banana. Can't do that to Freiburg and banana. What are you thinking?
They're trying to usurp the king. And there's FaceCrack. He'll sit back on the stairs. Just one kill on the 5-7, but Nido Safix is there to reply with a UMP. And it's into a 4v4. If forZe can just do some damage against the buy here of Heroic, cause a couple of rebuys, going into the next gun round, that's exactly the goal here from forZe. And really, there isn't a whole lot of cash built up on the Heroic side, so any of these players dropping is going to be an added benefit to that of forZe moving into the next one.
Yeah, that is the case. Banana will be the destination here for Heroic. Jerry will be the first line and only line of defense. All 3 of the other remaining force players over there towards A now having to rotate. Unless Jerry can get in there and do something, doesn't look like much will happen between now and the time. If the teammates do show up, but it doesn't look like they will.
They're just leaving him here on his own.
Yeah, you might as well cause a little chaos if you're here. It doesn't look like you're going to be getting out anytime soon, so.
But Jerry's probably called this. He's probably caused his own demise, right? Because he's the in-game leader of the team. He's also a very good individual for the roster. NATO Safix, only holding off Banana, where Flit currently is at the bottom of. He's got the SG in his hands. That would be a great weapon to save over into the next one with the nerf of the AUG. We've seen a lot more teams pick up the SG. I've seen some players sort of arguing, complaining about the AUG not being able to challenge that with the SG nowadays. So
now look at how smart this was from forZe at the end of the round to just hold them in place. You kept the player there from forZe in the back halls in the back alley, and then you had the other 3 remaining players just holding Banana. That Molotov secured that they were going to lose it all. They did win the round, but that did cost them.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, they had to do a little bit of damage, and they killed everyone on Heroic. So that has forced them into a sticky situation because if Heroic end up losing this first gun run, which is a real possibility, there's not a whole lot to fall back on.
Yeah, forZe falling back on this 3-land lean towards the B site early on in the rounds. So far, just a massive grenade damage down on the S-Tag, who has donned the AWP. And to the opposite of him will be that of Mr. X Power.
He's definitely got one of the better names within CS. One of the more interesting ones, we'll say.
It's up there.
I asked him in person what his name was because so many people were sort of giving me so many different variations on how to say it. And he kind of just went, I asked him, was it Z Power? And he goes, no. And I said, what is it? And he goes, X Power.
X Power.
Yeah, something like that.
Huh. Well, my Americanness looks like X Power. So either way, we'll make sure that you know who we're talking about. I'll work on it.
Yeah, there's no one really else you can confuse it with, right?
No, he truly is one of a kind. So nonetheless, some smoke's being used over here towards the A site. And so far, so good on both sides. The only person having taken a lot of damage would be S-Tag. Down to 51 with this op. Trying to get a little bit of bracket control here will be Heroic. They're going to use some smokes. Try to cordon off this library. And X-Power rings in with a shot of his own. The AWP finally coming online. Stavin just sort of murking his way across the library area. Has to be cognizant of the arch.
Safix has just torn the head off Fist Crack. Stound able to get one as well. And it's into a 3v3 at second. Ball plan has to come in, and there it is. Nido Safix with a headshot as well. Things aren't looking too great here for the Russian side. Almirza will walk in. A couple of shots rattled off on the AUG, and actually a few of them connected onto the head of Stavin. As a tag picking up one on the AWP. And Almirza left into the 1v2 clutch. No kit, only 2 flashbangs. It's looking unlikely.
Very unlikely. Almazar will stick around to see if something can get going. And with that kill, that might just be what he needed. S-Tag very low. He's going to go ahead and get out of dodge. Actually, throwing a flash over towards Porch. He's going to tap the bomb. Has no idea where S-Tag is. S-Tag very low. Takes the peek. It's all said and done from here. Can S-Tag get away with the op? Yes, but just barely. 2 HP. Staying alive. Heroic put a 4th up.
There was an AWP inside of the wall for Almirza to pick up there. It was kind of like Call of Duty Zombies. He's purchasing the weapon off the wall.
Yeah, there you go. Pause coming out. Perhaps forZe want to reconsider what they're going to do around this AWP.
Yeah, certainly. I think Z-Power is obviously a player. If he gets the AWP into his hands, you can have a very impactful round. And on Inferno in particular, that's where we'll see him be very aggressive. He loves to go for the mid push. He can be quite dynamic as well, so you can find him on multiple different parts of the map, and I think that's going to be the factor here for forZe. They have to throw him around the map. Lots of different positions, have impact everywhere. If that's not the case, then obviously it's going to be pretty difficult. But they have got plenty of utility. Flitz is the only player that's probably going to be lacking on that.
Now remember, this is the pick of forZe, Inferno. They're starting 4-0 down. Still a chance. This would be a big round for them to start their comeback on.
It definitely would be. Let's see if they can get the win, though. As Heroic still have a solo buy, and their individuals are certainly showing up early. And it's going to be Z-Power taking a little bit of damage early and having to fall away. Return to utility coming in, and that's going to be a big nade onto Jerry. He's actually scared off towards the B-bomb side itself. Third player is rotating back over towards A, though, as that's where Heroic are currently showing some presence.
Yeah, it looks like they want to do things with a bit faster pace right now, and this is something that builds a little bit on the back of confidence. Right inside of this A site, it's going to be forZe. They're not as well entrenched. Flit actually just sort of panicking within the pit, it feels like, to find some better angle to fight from. Face crack so uneasy that he almost shoots his teammate. Meanwhile, they have full porch control. Just waiting for the slip up of forZe, and I feel like Heroic are ready to swarm.
Well, they just got into position and didn't really execute off the back of it because they still have utility available. 1 smoke, Molotov, 2 flashbangs. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to get it done. And Z-Power's bored. He wants to push, and he gets the kill on the S-Tag, and that's the bomb. That's so much info.
That it is. And that smoke's going to conceal Heroic as they move up into the cubby, but they're being chipped away one by one. blameF will let X-Power walk right into him. Finally, forZe take their first casualty in the round.
20 seconds left. Heroic starting to make their way back over towards B. Almazer has a Molotov, so as soon as he hears any information, he'll throw that, but he might not get the chance because Freiburg's already pushed past CT. Another headshot coming in, and Freiburg opens it up. And that will be the B bomb site under a hell of a lot of pressure, and Heroic are going to leave forZe over on the A bomb site.
Freiburg opening the can of whoop-ass and getting it done. And that was the break that Heroic needed in that round. It was starting to tip heavily in their against them, really, having lost S-Tag and Edisafix. It's going to be a save again for forZe, and we're going to see 5th on the board for Heroic. So we're not going to be going for this one. Face crack holding on to the op, Flit with the AK, and Heroic getting out of sight.
Well, at least they do save the AWP. That's the important part here for forZe, but Heroic 5-0 on their opponent's map pick, and they're no stranger to winning the map pick of their opponents. We've seen that come in earlier. And coming up next is Overpass, and that is a map we've seen Heroic be very successful on. They've looked pretty solid on both the CT side and the T side.
Yeah, it looks like forZe just right now seeming a little bit exhausted. You know, you did just play a best of 3, so do you have a bit of sympathy for that? Either way, a lot on the line in this best of 3. Someone's going to Chicago. Someone's getting $5 grand.
I mean, technically it's a win-win situation, but one of the winners comes out a little bit better. But that's a good kill from Z-Power off towards middle. Edisafix caught out, and again, that's the impactfulness that Z-Power possesses. You know, he can go for those opening picks and gather the opening kill for the team so consistently. But Heroic are instantly there on the A bomb site trying to wrap it, but Fizzcrack's dealt with Freiburg. blameF has to go huge inside of the site.
Yeah, look at this play from blameF. He got up there so fast. Now is a standstill, and this has not gone very well for Heroic. We're looking at the first round for forZe. Just S-Tag and stab it. Well, as it stands, S-Tag doing a little bit of damage with that Krieg, bringing it down to just 3 members alive for forZe, and that's all that it'll be at the end of the round. Save 1 op. Imagine they'll pass that over to X-Power, of course. Now what will he do with it?
Well, here's your answer. GG.bet, 1.4 for Heroic, 2.77 for forZe. So currently, Heroic are the favorites to win on their opponent's map pick. And certainly looking at the score, it's looking that way. But forZe have just won their first, and now they have a chance to try and build on that.
Yeah, looking out here at this buy, let's see what exactly Heroic can string together. Stavin and Freiburg, only on pistols, P250 and one Eagle. They have 2 AKs. Enough utility to get themselves in a sight, but there will be no sustained battles in any of the choke points with utility, so there you have it. I like how they continuously apply pressure to Banana. Something you have to do. You can't just give up Banana or your entire defense will just cave on your T side.
Yeah, because you kind of roll over and die and just let the T side control what's going on.
Yeah, you can't just let the CTs run down Banana and take complete control of it. So, keeping them honest at least is what they've got going on here. Freiburg now with the Deagle.
Well, forZe have got 3 players towards B early here, and the smoke will go through. And that should consolidate power of the top Banana for the T side for the time being, but Freiburg, he's going to get a couple of shots rattled onto him and be spotted on the edge, and they do know he's there now, thanks to the shots coming on through, but Edisafix trying to play in towards the apartments. Playing with the fact he wants to push through Boiler, and this does give forZe the information that Heroic are spread out across the map. They're not all committed to one side of the map. They have players in every nook and cranny, but that's just what Heroic want them to think. Is Nido Safix coming back from the A bomb site, starts to gather with the rest of the troops inside of Banana, and they're going to commit in towards the B side itself, where Jerry, currently standing on top of the coffins, and is dishing them hell.
That he is. Davin and Natasafix need to turn this one around. Not a whole lot of time to do so, and that boost is going to prove to be quite fatal. Jerry gets that last kill through the smoke. Excuse me. Not through the smoke, but still, you understood. And of course, we can't have the grand final without telling you where you can head right now on your other browser or your other tab within the browser you have open. Hit Control-T over csgo.net. Use code Chicago for a 30% top-up bonus, an official partner of the GG.bet Chicago Invitational.
Well, they look like they want to go for the run boost, but it doesn't really work out for Z-Power, so he'll have to go for the more standard walk across middle, and that's a little bit more risky. So she sense he wasted time, but luckily he doesn't get shot up. There's nothing of value on Heroic. It's only the Glocks and the P250 on Stown. So FizzCrack in this position has been such a solid player, so he really should end up taking quite a few kills here. And Stown just waiting at the other end of the smoke, waiting. Heroic have done this quite often, is just take these slow Glock runs and just use them as sort of a technical pause, or a tactical pause, just talk over what you want to do.
I mean, yeah, that is certainly a tactic all on its own. I mean, they're going to group up over here towards B. Don't expect a whole lot from them. They'd have to really do something weird to make this work out. A bomb plant would go a long way, but they're going to be able to buy going in the next round regardless. Still up 5-2. So there you have it. Right into the Almazer AK. And only netting themselves one frag will be that of Heroic. 5-3. This force puts another one on the board. Still a long way to go. And a pause.
Yeah, I think Heroic probably need this coming through. You know, they had the initial momentum building up. And obviously, this is going to be a buy run coming in, so they want to make sure everybody's on the same page. If they have a set piece in mind, then certainly make sure everyone's ready for it. They have got the utility available, but it's not going to be a massive amount when it comes through. It's still yet to buy, so they make sure that everybody knows what they're going to get before they commit to the purchase. And we see too many teams make mistakes in terms of that, where they just all buy immediately, and then the whole plan is just screwed over.
Yeah. Well, here's a buy for you. Heroic want to bounce back. Lost 3 in a row, 3 unanswered, and now they're going to have the chance to answer with weapons. So perhaps this will be where they start. Freiburg, Blame F, and Native Safix on the AKs. And then on the other side, you have the AWP on X-Power.
So, Stavin taking a little bit of second mid-control early. They'll have a pretty spread out default. Sending one in towards Banana. They've got the backup there as well. They'll make sure the bomb is left on the T stairs. They don't want to risk that going down inside of Banana due to grenades. So, at this point, Heroic's just trying to see what's available, but it's Z-Power with another opening pick. This time up towards the apartments. Nido Safix falls victim to the AWP, and the Molotov comes in as well to secure control. But look at FizzCrack. He's pushed in through Boiler, and there's the kill on the Stavin.
Very unfortunate, but very well played there for forZe. They definitely had him in a bind there in a pinch.
Well, Freiburg has got one kill in towards B, and Jerry on the back of the smoke. Just on the other end of the coffins is Esatag. That's such a risky position to be in with a bomb, but at least he nets one kill. The bomb's still in possession, but Jerry's just walked right through the smoke, and forZe is starting to feel confident.
Yes, he is. Blame F, though. The man that could single-handedly bench press probably most of the forZe lineup. Not all at once, perhaps, but one at a time. Won't be able to press this round very much further. It's going to be Heroic that fall. And forZe starting to equalize here, 4-5.
Well, Heroic here could go for the upgraded pistols, a little bit of Kevlar sprinkled in, and indeed that's the call coming through. We've seen them actually turn rounds around on just using the pistols, so certainly still potent here from the Danes. But forZe I think as soon as they've got the guns in their hands, they've definitely looked a lot better. They've started to push smoke, starting to see, you know, that play style that's a signature of forZe, just so unpredictable and so hard to counter. So Heroic are going to have to try and figure that out as they go along, because Z-Power is still locking down middle. He unfortunately will not be able to connect that. And unfortunately for him, but very fortunate for Heroic.
That is true. Everyone's still looking pretty good, pretty healthy. Heroic setting themselves up for a B take. Molotov might push him back just a little bit. Really well placed. But all 5 members from Heroic over here on this side. Several Danes, 1 Swede. Looking to gain control of the site against that of Jerry and Almazar. And the auto sniper being out. Perhaps do a little bit more than the AUG. From the looks of it, that's exactly how it's going to go down. Jerry making mince meat of that Heroic. Staven, though, got a few things to say. Not enough.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do to win, right?
Yep.
Pulling out the auto sniper. I mean, if it gets you a spot at IM Chicago, why not?
Exactly. Easy as that.
We actually see an NIP. Used to use that a lot. Get right towards the people on site. Used to be devastating when Banana was actually far narrower.
Yeah.
It's a little bit wider. It's been stretched. But still so lethal. And we just see that coming through. Jerry with a 4K. They've also got an open play as well on that CT side. But here come Heroic. They've got a buy again. No AWP to be seen, though. It's the AKs, 1 SG in the hands of Stavin.
Yeah, but the new Banana, or on Inferno, the newest version is the GOAT, you see. Yeah. So there you have it. It's going to be a wrap here from Native Sapper. Quite the shots coming out from Heroic as they begin to open up the site. 3v3, they find themselves in a pretty good spot until that. When the bomb does drop out of S-Tac's hand, Blame F hanging out towards Arch. Does find the back of Jerry. And without even having to plant the bomb, and with not a whole lot of time to spare, they actually do grab the round 6-5. So you had 5 unanswered rounds from Heroic, 5 unanswered rounds from forZe, and then Heroic are back in the fight.
Yeah, but forZe still have a lot of money built up. C-Power on $11,550. Flit, not so much, so he's going to rely on a drop from one of his teammates. Look at a full buy in. Heroic, they need to put 2 together here. They can't afford to just have sort of a blip on the radar. They win 1 and then fall off again, because that's certainly not the way you want to build up that economy. I think 6 on the T side, it's a good start. Obviously, they'd want to finish a little bit more. And with this version of Inferno, we generally do see closer games. Unless you're like the best team in the world, and then you start to see, you know, pretty one-sided halves come in from the CT side. We used to see Astralis, you know, rack up the CT wins. Not so much anymore, but if you play it well, then certainly you can still see that CT side favor. But around this level, when the 2 teams are pretty evenly matched, that's when we see close affairs.
Very much true.
Well, FaceCrack is definitely loving this aggression towards the apartments. He's been here quite often. On the opposite side, though, on the stairs. This time he pushes through the balcony room, and he will take the kill on a Nato Sapphic. Starts to spam into bedroom, but it's Flit who pushes through Boiler, and the kill comes through. So hard to deal with that aggression.
Yeah, it's gone all wrong for Heroic in this round. They've double back down Banana. Bomb will be there, as well as that of Freiberg and S-Tac. They make the first bit of contact here on the coffins. Jerry, Almazar towards Dark. Can't seem to get a spray going. That's unfortunate considering the lineup and just what could have happened. Here comes the backstab. You can see in the picture. Picture looks like they're going to get the bomb down. So at least we got that going for them. 2v3. Blame F Freiberg. Looking to get it done.
Well, only Blame F. 2 players are very low, though. Flit is on 4 HP, Jerry on 7, so Blame F, he's got 1. Jerry, 1 hit as well, and there it is. 1v1 up against Z-Power. AWP holding the angle. Blame F should know this, takes the fight, and Blame F makes it happen. That's why he's the #1 rated player in this tournament so far.
Yes, good stuff right there. He does a little bit of a dance, dances a little bit of a jig. And next thing you know, he walks away with the W in the round. 7-5 for Heroic. Overall, post-plant, you can't always bank on those situations paying out, but in that case it did. So hats off to Blame F.
Yeah, that's a round they needed to win as well. Kind of talked about if they lost one. If they won one, should I say, and lost straight away, then that's obviously going to kill any momentum that they have, any cash they're built up as well. But this is a good chance for Heroic to actually win the half. And here comes the push from Heroic. forZe actually running down towards middle. Heroic dealing with it well. It's all the kills coming in. As the Tiger Freiburg dealing with it easily. And it's all on Z-Power. USP in hand versus 4. I think it's pretty safe to call that this one's over.
I don't know, man. X-Power's pretty insane. Just saying.
He would be on another planet if he was able to win this one.
He's about to be on planet Freiburg here in a second.
Could fry Freiburg with the Zeus as well.
Oh, I see what you did there. Well, perhaps this Swedish fish will swim his way up banana, but not today. He's going to be backing away. I think he's going to bait that sound cue out. Good idea there from S-Tag. Holds the angle with the off chance he's still there. And that's going to put us up to 8-5. Money's starting to build. We're likely able to buy the rest of this half, no problem. Freiburg, 1, 2, 3. You do love to see it.
Well, Heroic have somewhat been able to deal with the aggression of forZe. Sometimes they've been caught by it, but they've dealt with it quite well across the board. But it will be a missed shot from Z-Power.
And quite the shot to try to take there, too.
Yeah.
You really are out in no man's land.
It's quite ambitious.
Yeah, 3 members from forZe flexed over towards the B site early on. If Heroic got a glimpse of that or a wind of that, they would probably be just exploiting this A-bomb site, or at least the bracket. But for now, they're just going to use it proper flashing and smoking to try to get their way in there.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of info at this point. And, well, they're not going to get any towards A-bomb side apart from Z-Powers there. LB Stavin getting dropped, and Estetai was quickly there to try and find the trade, but long gone. Z-Powers rotated towards long. He's looking for another one. And he's spotted a player's arm. He wants to go for this. Fighting with Estetai. That's the kill. AWP battle goes in favor of forZe.
So far, so good for forZe. 5 alive. They're going to maybe think about moving one of these players off B. A lot of presence shown from Heroic over on the A site. And at a standstill we are. As the bomb starts to transition back.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a very slow game from Heroic. They want to make sure that they have everything put together. They want to make sure they don't make any mistakes, and that's going to cost them. There's low time left, and what's the point? forZe just wrecking them anyway. It will be one from BlameF. It's all on the NATO Sapphics. Into a 1v4 clutch with 10 seconds. It's not going to happen. He's just running, trying to die before time. And actually, well, now he's going to go for the bomb plant. There's not enough time for this, and he might just die. Oh, yeah, there is. Okay, that's a little bit strange. There was 3 seconds on the clock, but the plant actually coming in just the nick of time.
That's what you think, Dinko.
Yeah, exactly.
That was all calculated, all strategically done.
That's happened a few times where the plant's literally gone down with 3 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, well, I think you have to account for that final second, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about time is a flat circle, I guess, but whatever. Here we are. All things considered, a bomb plant, not bad for Heroic. And we'll go into the last round of the half.
Well, Heroic have won the half already. But if they end up losing this one, 8-7, it's not exactly a great win. Technically, they've won, but with a pistol, yeah, they've lost the lead very easily. So, Heroic looking to try and take 9. They have a buffer of 3 rounds. Nada's going to go up on top of Banana. Freiburg has been the entry force here time and time again, obviously feeling very confident in taking the fights on B. But once they've got him up there, they just kind of leave him there to patrol.
Yeah.
It is his domain after all.
Good utility usage here. Just trying to clear out these halls. It's going to be Heroic on this last round of the half. Looking to make it 9 instead of the 8. AWP from X-Power. Seeing what he can do with it. He's just on the other side of the smoke in middle. He'll probably look to get out of the way before it fades. No players on Banana for Heroic. Still 5 alive on each side.
Well, 45 seconds, finally the push coming in, but Nidosafix just jumps off the balcony, spots Face Crack, and so Z-Power on the bomb side itself. AWP in hand, he's looking at his teammate. Don't really need to look there. In fact, and there's the kill back towards Pit. I don't know how that happens. He looks away, looks back towards Pit, and collects the kill. He'll be looking for another, but quite landed quick enough, and it's Freiburg making it happen for Heroic, and that will be another one on the board. 9-6 at the half, unless Flit can pull off a 1v4.
Freiburg coming alive in a huge way right there.
Yeah.
Last round of the half, Flit 1v4, as you said, last round. So that also means
He's got to go for it.
you got to go for it, Bubs. It's the way of the road.
Doesn't end well for him, but it will be a 9th on the board for Heroic. Topping the scoreboard is Essetag, and below that Blame F on 11. But Freiburg, he may not be at the top, but he's had a hell of a lot of impact. 2 of the runs have been won off the back of just his sheer entry ability. One's towards the B-bomb site, and one's towards the A site. So Freiburg certainly having a good game in terms of the entry abilities. But here comes the pistol. It's Heroic on the CT side. This is the more favored side of Inferno. And if they can get off to a good start on their CT half, they might just be able to close out their opponent's map pick. But we know forZe is not going to let that happen easily, right?
Yeah, absolutely not. This pistol round will be pretty telling. See how the rest of this half goes. So we will keep our eye on that. In the meantime, we do have a quick little pause. It's probably a good idea for me to remind you to head over to csgo.net and use code Chicago for 30% top-off bonus, and probably get yourself some cool skins as the official partner of the GG.bet Chicago Invitational.
It's been a pretty good Invitational. We've had a lot of sick plays. You know, Config and his aces, Scream had some great ace clutches. So we've definitely had our fair share of highlights. I'm sure this final will deliver as well.
Yeah, so far, strings of rounds rather, for both sides. I'm not real sure what the pause is at this point.
Hopefully it's not a technical pause, right?
Kind of feels like it.
forZe and technical pauses, definitely an iconic duo.
Understood. And we're back.
Yeah, we're ready to go. forZe have purchased quite a bit of utility into this one. Amazing with a smoke and a Molotov. Z-Power, double flash and a smoke on him. The rest with Kevlar, apart from Heroic. It's only Stavin who hasn't bought yet. So I'm assuming he'll pick up Kevlar as well. There we go. Smoke, Kit on Nidosafix, the rest with Kevlar on the CT side. They're looking for the pistol win here, Heroic. They're looking to try and extend their lead, where forZe want to get back into this.
Yeah, 4 players towards the B site. No one's home yet. The only person that's going to be pressuring it, that'll be that of Jerry. Pistol round, very important here for Heroic, and definitely of forZe.
Well, Freiburg taking an advanced stance in the apartments. He wants to pick off the first kill, then fall back to safety. He's got to be very quick on the reaction. And here they go. He needs to be patient. Eventually they'll come into his crosshair, and it's actually Freiburg who gets goosed up, so he'll be forced away.
Sounded good. Looked all right. But it's not enough. And here we are, the ace site on the cards for forZe. How will this all go down? That is the big question. 50 seconds up of the clock. Well, Freiburg can't turn and get it done, so we will see a bomb plant here from the side of forZe.
Yeah, and Heroic coming back into it. They're going to attempt the 4v5 retake. They've got the kit on Nidosafix, so they still have a little bit of time to work with. There's also a smoke available. It's all about trying to place it well. Blame F looking to try and force a fight. He's definitely a great player on those USPs. We've seen incredible plays from him in the tournament so far. We'd love to have another one just being pulled out of nowhere, but it's Essetag who starts it off well. FaceCrack has to give away his position, and because of that, Blame F comes in with a headshot, but it doesn't matter. forZe hold on, and it'll be 7.
This is true. That one could have been a real bad look from the side of Heroic. Should they have lost that, or excuse me, from forZe, should they have lost that, the stabilization would have been completely lost. But now there is a chance.
Well, Heroic, it's the scout for Blame F. No Kevlar on him at all. Just going to be the glass scout, I guess. It's going to be Freiburg on the Deagle. Stavin joins him on that. And forZe. I mean, this should just be a rip ball straight up banana. Hopefully get it done, but you never know. Heroic have been pretty good on these kind of bars, and Jerry's going to be burnt up a little bit. His shoes melted off, and he will still get the kill onto BlameF. Flit gets one as well. Safix is dropped. freiburg, Estetag, and Stavin are into a 3v5 situation where Stavin will come out on top in the battle against FaceCrack. At this point, Heroic, their job is just to try and get as many of these weapons out of the hands of ForZe. Force them to rebuy, but good headshot from Almazer.
Very good stuff. Only 2 members alive here for Heroic with pistols. A bit of an awkward exchange of bullets there at the top of Banana between some teammates. Not a problem. That means the bomb is going to turn around and go the other direction. Heroic, freiburg, and S-Tag, more specifically, having no idea as of yet. And still plenty of time for ForZe to do what they have to do to get this bomb planted.
They're taking it so slowly forward, they really don't want to risk it. And because of that, Estetag is going to take a headshot, blistering onto Jerry, but that'll force ForZe just to go straight in towards the A bomb site. And there's no one here. No resistance from Heroic. And they're really taking their time. And because of that, freiburg's actually been able to rotate over from B towards Library. So now Heroic are in a position where they might be able to pick off a head or two.
Yeah, freiburg going for that shot. That would have been a nice way to potentially get back into the site, but there is a point where they might want to cut their loss. Look like it'll be anytime soon. Both players now, position given away. Spray from Almazer. Takedown has tag, and on the other side of the site, X-Power onto Heroic's freiburg.
Well, one more round for ForZe is pretty much guaranteed. Taking a look at the economy here, and that'll put us 9-9. Even apiece here on Inferno. And the early signs of a close game.
It's true. Oh, Inferno, you never fail us.
No, Inferno has some of the closest series ever. It has some of the closest games we've ever seen.
Yeah, some of the best decider games, too.
Well, it's the first map of this series. The decider of this one will be Nuke if we need to go there. And Overpass is the second. Safix trying to get aggressive with the USPs. Multiple players in Heroic trying to get aggressive, but Flit deals with them all. 4 kills come in. Almazer will finish off the job. And it is 9-9.
9-9. ForZe back in this thing. All tied up, having won the first 3 rounds of the second half. Now I think we'll be seeing those guns.
Indeed we will. AWP for Estetag, definitely been a solid player on that. He's had a couple of quiet games today, but in the games that he showed up, he's had some big rounds, big clutches. Hopefully we get to see that again, going up against Z-Power. But the problem is for me, I just feel like Z-Power is probably going to dominate Estetag in a lot of these engagements. Because Estetag is actually, Z-Power is actually dominating Oscar. And that's not an easy feat for any Opera, so.
No, not at all.
Yeah, good signs from Z-Power. Definitely has a lot of promise. And, well, BlameF, he's forced himself in towards Banana. So freiburg actually doesn't play Banana, he plays A. So
Well, there you go.
they forced him away from it.
How do you do that to the one and the only? Freiburg. Freedom. Speaking of freedom, it's going to be over here towards the A site that they want to hit. And by they, I mean ForZe. Backing out just a little bit, though. Late audible, 50 seconds on the clock. That works out for Stavin. Caught out. Yes, it'll be BlameF that does fall.
4v4. 38 seconds left as he starts to come in towards the B bomb sites. Jerry with a headshot onto Safix. And the rest of ForZe start to charge on in as they line up. It's a collateral from Z-Power. So certainly a great way to end that one. It's double figures for ForZe. Starting to feel it here in the grand final. They take the lead on their map pick. And this is the side we've talked about. ForZe have looked good on their T side. And this is a good chance for them to try and build up a solid lead and try and break Heroic in half.
That is what they're looking for. Makes the most sense. But will they get it? The big question on the cards. Can you get it over at CSGO.net? Can they get it, Nico?
They can. They can get a 30% top up on their balance with the code Chicago.
Chicago.
Chicago. It is the city of wonders, right? Lovely city.
The Windy City.
The Windy City, yeah, that's what it is. Is it windy, though?
Can't be.
Well, forZe, they've got the man advantage. They'll be looking for the extra round as well. And taking a look at the purchase from Heroic, you would have to favor forZe to do this. And that would put them in prime position to try and take away Inferno.
And they would be on a run right there. They would have just about everything they needed.
Well, here comes the push towards middle. It's going to be FaZeCrack. Take it away STag, but Sapic's trying to step up with CZ, but can't do so as FaZeCrack with the AK is just too hot to handle. As Freiburg gets aggressive and is able to pick up the kill onto Flit. And another attempt from Freiburg, but it's Z-Power that has his numbers. So BlimmF, 1v4, Deagle in hand, and he's back towards CT, encroaching on Archway.
Yeah, at this point, rounds are starting to slip away from Heroic. We're seeing 11th go up on the board. Blame. Just going to grab that AK. Maybe see if we can do a little bit more damage. But actually, he's going to just see the end. X-Power frags him, and then there's the round. And we're going to see forZe looking better and better, a little bit more strong every single round here. That's a scary concept for Heroic.
Scary concept is that Z-Power is at the top of the scoreboard and has been lights out so far. 22 and 10, having a hell of a lot of impact for them. Heroic, Sapic's is a little bit quiet here. Well, he's going to be the pick from Z-Power, looking for mid-aggression. No one from the CT side coming towards him.
Oh. There it is. Mid-aggression.
Well, it's not going to come through, as the smoke towards top mid is just left. Stavage behind it, but STag.
What a shot.
Yeah, getting aggressive, but traded back by Z-Power. And since you're 4v4.
Yeah, even strength right here. This is a very crucial moment for both teams, especially considering the scoreline that we have across the board. You have to think about just how pivotal each of these rounds will be going forward. Tit for tat in a game of tic-tac-toe. You can't just lay on your side and take it.
Well, Freiburg off towards short, has a teammate in below dark as well to assist him on his endeavors. But with 53 seconds left, forZe are taking their time. They've done a whole lot of nothing really across this entire round. You know, they find that initial pick and then they just take it slow. They're waiting for a couple of mistakes to come their way from Heroic. And no information is going to be here for the CT side on B. They've got one player there, and that's STag. He's playing towards Coffins. He can pick off a player, fall back, and a lot of the rotations come in for the team. But it's crucial that he gets at least one and also stays alive.
Yeah, especially right now with the bundle up on B. It's going to be a lot of pressure right here, and he's going to have to hold fast. Finds one. He's going to look for more. Takes a pop shot after being flashed. Perhaps, just maybe, he could find one more until the cavalry arrives. That's where he needs to be. Number game in the way of Heroic. These Molotovs are going to keep him out of the fight for now. A little bit of an angle there. Has to play it safe through the Molotov. Doesn't get the shot off in the planter in time. So bomb being planted by forZe. They're going to hold on for dear life right now as the retake is on from Heroic. FaZeCrack and X-Power. What can they do? That will be the big question. Both low on HP. 23 to be exact.
Ooh. Missed shot for Z-Power, though. That might cause problems as FaZeCrack has to step up, and he won't. So double figures for Heroic. Back to a position where they might be able to even the scoreline again.
Yes, even Steven. Shout out, I think, Shia LaBeouf.
Steven loves a bit of even.
Okay, tell me more.
I don't know more.
It sounds like some sort of a Irish saying. Not real sure.
No,
never been to Ireland myself. Would love to check it out sometime.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of Stevens there.
Okay,
it's a pretty common name.
Common as a timeout, which is what we have. 11 to 10 forZe. Heroic would like to grab some momentum on the back of that first round, having won, being that they have lost 5 in a row here in the second half. That was their first answered round. First one where they have something to show for themselves. Can't have a vendetta. You just have to sometimes pick up the ball and run with it.
Well, thanks his part. Let's see if he can show some aggression early again. That's something he loves to do. He's really the battering ram for forZe into rounds, but that's a lot of damage done. His flit has been dropped to 16.
Yeah, that's nuts right there. 16 HP, still a minute and a half to go in the round. It's not ideal. I mean, at least you still have some guns in the fight, but no damage over on the side of Heroic.
Yeah, they're clean. Clean as Sean Bean. We're just going to find things that just rhyme with names.
You say Sean Bean?
Yeah.
Not super familiar, but also, I don't know, man. I guess we just come from two different worlds, and that's okay. People can be different. It's fine.
Sean Bean's the guy from Game of Thrones, Ned Stark.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. I was just testing to see if you really knew who Sean Bean was, but...
Yeah, he always dies in every movie he's in. He died in Lord of the Rings straight away, and he died in Game of Thrones straight away. Spoilers alert.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah, it's been like 10 years in Lord of the Rings or whatever.
I haven't even seen Game of Thrones. Okay, I'm lying now. That's straight garbage. Anyway, 10 to 11, and it's going to be forZe. They have lost a few beans along their trek here. Face crack, though, will be taking out that of S-Tag, the first casualty of the round, and now we have a flurry of Molotovs ringing into the B site. Not all of them having landed, and it's just enough to pull all of the utility and attention from Heroic, except for Freiburg. Too smart for all of you because he did not rotate, and now that's going to be forZe running right into him.
Yep, well, Freiburg. Oh, wow. That's definitely a great kill coming through as he falls off the balcony. Second comes in as well, but it's even. Trades coming back in. But forZe will keep the advantage in terms of the overall look of the round, and Flit is on 16 HP. He was the player that took a lot of damage early and hasn't taken anything since. He gets on the bomb site. Blimev and Nido Safix, they've got literally no chance of winning this. And I think they know that, so they just sit back in ruins. 12-10. forZe are currently 4 away from taking their map pick. Moving on to Overpass. And we've kind of talked about, okay, this is the map pick of Heroic, but it's certainly not a map that forZe are bad at. They've shown they are very solid on the map. They took a convincing win against Hellraisers. So definitely showing their savvy to a bit of Overpass.
Overpass. Oh, dear. forZe looking good. Trying to punch their ticket to Chicago here at the GG Bet Invitational.
It'd be quite incredible if we seen forZe at Chicago.
Yeah, and I really think that would be a good statement for them should they go there and have success. They have shown what they are capable of, but can they do it on land? The age-old question. Vendetta can't do it on land, but can you do it on land, Dinko?
I've played one LAN, and well, we'll get back to that, because here's the odds from GG Bet, and they're far more interesting, right?
Oh, I see a cop-out now.
1.25 here for forZe, 3.68 for Heroic. And yeah, I've played one tournament on a LAN event, and I got an MVP, so there we go.
Yeah.
That's a good stat. I'm never going to play on LAN again, because that'll ruin it.
Yeah, basically. That's the way it should be.
Exactly.
Not bad.
It was an Irish LAN, so it doesn't really count, does it?
No, that counts.
Okay, good.
LAN is LAN is LAN.
It is.
Speaking of LAN, at the end of this series, we will be sending one of them to Chicago for that. But right now, forZe looking pretty here on map 1 at least. Their map pick of Inferno. Overpass next.
Yeah, for the meantime, forZe are looking good, but the way this game has been going, it could go either way still.
It really could swing either way.
Like a pendulum. But Jerry is the front man for forZe. In his way all the way towards top banana. He's just hoping that someone from Heroic takes a bit of a walk to their death. So he probably has joined him on this position. He's a little bit paranoid about CT, so perhaps the smoke will come through and allow him to concentrate towards the coffins.
Good grenade there. Not as much damage as you would expect. Brings Suffix down to 81. Tried to use just a little bit more utility there, just to hurt a little bit of Heroic. Chip damage, as Mr. O'Toole likes to call it. All this utility being used, they're going to flex back down banana and head towards A. Yes, that means someone needs to grab the bomb, which is what they're going to do. And again, we see Mr. S-Tag, sort of like we saw Fryberg over here by himself. Now we see S-Tag holding fast. He does have a P250. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Well, as a tag, he'll hide behind the hay bale, but it will be the kill from Almizir that will come in and give forZe the advantage. It also gives them the A-bomb site, so they just punched in. Everyone on Heroic hiding on the B-bomb site. They go for the gamble stack, but it doesn't really work. And because of that, forZe will be on 13.
That is the case. Not a whole lot you could do for Heroic in this round. It's pretty much over. 13 is the number.
Sometimes it's an unlucky number for some people.
Yeah. Unless you have one of those clover things that you guys have and where you're from.
Exactly, yeah.
So does that kind of like offset? Is that like a cancel
Yeah, it just
out?
kind of gets rid of everything, right?
Nice. I always wondered if it's like luck canceled out by things like that. So, I don't know. You have the number 7 and then you have a 4-leaf clover.
Then your luck just turns good. And if you smash him early, you just put a clover on it. It's fixed. You know that 7 years of bad luck is no longer there.
Nice. And then on top of that, the American way would be put some duct tape on it and call it a day.
Yeah.
Speaking of putting duct tape on it, we'll duct tape that conversation to tell you that forZe is up 13-10 and are looking quite sharp. They've done this seesaw maneuver where they go up banana, use a lot of utility, and then transfer back to A so many times, and Heroic just seem to bite on it at all. Or excuse me, all the time. But the fight for banana will continue. So here we go.
Well, it is one of the most dangerous places on the planet, Banana. And there we go, the nade coming in and dropping Flint. He's witnessed that firsthand, but Jerry will take away a headshot onto Nado Safik. So 4v4. BlameF hides behind the half wall, just waiting for the boost to come over the top, but will he expect that to happen? Flashbangs are preventing it from happening, so he won't have to worry about it. Instead, he'll have to worry about the A-bomb site where FaceCracks walked in and killed his teammate. Man advantage for forZe.
Here we are. FaceCrack just making its way quietly over there towards Arch, holding for library. That might just be holding the door open there for this ace site. Losing that fight is BlameF. And that doesn't happen in every world. So there you go. Fryberg and Staven. Make that just Fryberg. 39 HP. And this is looking like another round for forZe.
Yeah, they're really starting to rein it in here. There was a back and forth established between the two teams, but it seems as though forZe have had enough of it. They're dominating at the minute. Well, that's Fryberg. It looks like he actually want to go for this, so he's going to run right in through CT, gets the 1 kill, but Amir is there for the trade. And so it is 14-10. And not... I was going to say there's not a whole lot on everyone on Heroic, but it's mainly only Astatag that doesn't have money. So BlameF can certainly drop him. And so we're going to get a buy from the Danes, finally it seems, and another pause coming through.
Yeah, pause coming out now. Very pivotal time in the matchup for Heroic. BlameF with 9,100. Nado Safik's plenty of money too. They really could get a buy out of this. Looks like they're going to go for it. They want to keep this a contest still, not play with their back against the wall facing that round 15. So we will find out. Meantime, not seeing enough movement out there in chat. Not seeing enough movement.
It's pretty slow. Need to up the game. But then that brings the party, the fun begins, right?
I remember watching, I think Steve Aoki was doing a stream on Twitch.
Okay.
And the chat just kept spamming like dancing emotes. It was just the most fascinating thing at the time.
Oh, that would just be very therapeutic to look at.
It kind of was, really. Anyway, almost as therapeutic as picking mid and not dying. That's got to be a good feeling. Meanwhile, on banana, the pressure will continue. Molotovs having been expended. And that is where forZe have been putting all their chips at the early parts of just about every single round. Up to the point where they're able to expend a lot more utility or what they have left in the A site. And then that seesaw maneuver back to the A site. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's why utility is so important to have on the T side of Inferno, because you have to use so much of it early towards banana just to try and get some control there to prevent the CTs from dominating you across the map. So it's forced Astatag to play passive on the coffins. They've done this setup quite a few times where it seems to be just 4-1, either on 4 on the A bomb site or 4 on the B bomb site. It's kind of strange from Heroic, but they seem to rely on SSI. They feel like he's good enough to hold alone, and he certainly has the skill set for it. That smoke is pretty interesting. There's a massive gap on the side of it, though, and that could result in a pick, but he's aware of it. At least he's watching it.
Yeah, but I guess, I mean, just looking at the other side. Okay, look, let's see this Molotov come out. Ah, there's the shot.
So quick.
Exit Power delivers again and again and again. All of the utility now, they're going to commit to this B site. There's absolutely no question about it. On the rotation will be Native Sapphics, and so far this buy-up has not gone well. The lurk on the other side of the map gone very well with 2 frags.
Yeah.
And that is not looking good for Heroic. Looking like a 15th for forZe. And Blame F, Native Sapphics. Well, what can you do at this point, boys?
Well, Native Sapphics, he's got a small bucket, and he's trying to bail out the sinking ship of Heroic. And there's the headshot, and Blame F's got one as well. Native Sapphics will be looking for another. And he's actually got a player just walking through CT. Flit is aware that Native Sapphics is in that position, and he'll blind himself, walk back into Flit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, certainly an easy kill coming through there. And Blame F is alone. 1v3, got to save the AK, and it's going to be map point for forZe here in Inferno.
Yeah, it really is. That was a pretty cool party trick there, the whole blind yourself. Try to run
Good walk.
Really commit to it. 15 is right, my friend Dinko. Not a good start for Heroic in this, but of course this is forZe map pick. We'll be switching over to Overpass, and the decider will be Nuke. We'll just see how this one pans out. Been a long week of Counter-Strike here, GGBet Chicago Invitational, and we've finally come to a head here. This is the matchup for all the marbles, the berth at the Intel Extreme Masters.
Well, Heroic, they're no stranger to finals here at the Invitationals. Obviously, they've won the Sydney Invitational to get a spot at IM Sydney. And they're here in the final, still fighting for that spot at IM Chicago. But the problem is they've got forZe, and they're looking hungry. They've been around the verge. They've been at the top 30 and sort of fallen out of it and back into it over the past couple of months since December. When they attended PLG Grand Slam Abu Dhabi. They played pretty well against Fnatic, making the semi-finals there. And since then have stuck with the same roster, but here's Jerry taking quite a bit of damage, dropped to 44, and that's actually scared him away. So forZe, they'll have to set up again, and they've got plenty of utility to do that.
Yeah, and they've been doing this every round, expending this utility. They just keep these Heroic players in the sight, keep them guessing, because so many times they've gone back into A. This is a great calm from the leadership of forZe. Right now, though, it's not panning out. It's been the spray down from Native Sapphics. Face Crack will get involved. This has not turned out in the way that they wanted it to.
Well, shot coming through the back of the bomb site as Freiburg with the pickup. The Deagle coming in, and so Z-Power 1v4. He wants to make it happen. Actually hits the shot, but Freiburg will drop him in the end. So 15-11. If Heroic are to make this happen, they've got to go to overtime.
Yeah, that's a good holding point right there for Heroic. Money not a thing for the forZe clan. But here we are. Pause out. 20 seconds on that. You got to wonder what's being said right now. Really just wonder who took the pause. But that would probably answer the first question.
I'm assuming it has to be Heroic, right? They've finally got a buy-in again. They've just won one. They can't afford to lose any others. And look at the odds. 11.71 for Heroic here. And the GG.bet odds, 1.01 for forZe. So they're not feeling that this comeback's going to happen.
Yeah, well, there you have it. 101 to 11.71. Interesting. Freeze time will be coming to an end, and we will be jumping into what very well could be the last round for Heroic. Every round here on out will be a battle of them with their backs against the wall.
Well, that's the target with the scope. Look on the bottom of middle, where Z-Power currently is. He just has his little head over the top of it. It's a head glitch angle. So difficult to deal with. Although a lot of operas, like a lot of good operas, can be very precise enough just to take the head off of the player in underpass.
Still a scary peek.
Yeah.
No matter how you pin it. Speaking of pinning it, it's going to be Face Crack. Runs out top mid. Does get Molotov'd off, but S-Tag will be the lesser.
Yeah, just walking up mid, taking a kill through the smoke. Not bad. Z-Power has an opportunity to try and follow up, but re-peeks right into Stavin, who's waiting for him. And Stavin's under a lot of pressure, and Flit will drop him. So it's looking good for forZe's chances here to take away their map pick. Perhaps the odds from GG.bet We're 100% correct.
Perhaps they were. Blame F and NATO Sapphics. We actually already have a member of Heroic who has DC. Perhaps restarting the game is what I'm going to assume. He reconnects. Blame F, NATO Sapphics. Need to retake, and this is going to be next to impossible when you're catching all the grenades. Almazar does one. Now Blame F, 1v3. And now nothing at all. It's going to be forZe to pick up the first map of the series, the map of their choosing of Inferno. And that makes the series ever so much more spicier.
Yeah, Overpass coming up next. That's the one for Heroic that they have to win if they want to get to IEM Chicago. They're going to have to reverse sweep this 2-1, and currently it's looking like forZe in the driver's seat.
Yeah, this is an interesting, right? Because if you switch over to the maps, what happens, right? We see forZe right now with momentum, but do they become tired? Do they have what it takes to beat up on a Heroic on their map pick? And I don't know. These are some of the questions that we can only speculate the answers to, but in the reality, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see because the second map is, of course, Overpass. We've seen some good performances from both teams in this tournament so far on this map, so I'm looking forward to seeing what sort of team shows up on it.
Yep, well, let's do that. We're going to go to break. We come back. We do have map number 2 of this series. We'll be right back.